This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gib. I'm bringing that same energy here. First round KO. Man, speed. You know, I beat him in laser tag when we first met in Dubai. He didn't see me coming. I was popping around the corners, shooting him non-stop, eliminated him multiple times, and that's because I'm tricky. I'm sneaky and I'm fast.
I am not counting him out. I'm not, because everything I laid out there, because I look at everything. And, you know, like I said, with the Tyson thing, Tyson was 30 years old or 40 years old. I don't know what the hell he was, but he was much older. It was, I mean, it was a circus, but people still thought Tyson would win.
Even me, I don't think he's a bad boxer, you know. I actually think he's a decent boxer, but they're not on the caliber of obviously Anthony Joshua, but
no holding back, Jake Paul sends a shocking knockout threat to Anthony Joshua. In light of the current buzz, Jake Paul is gearing up to shake the boxing world once again. Despite what critics say, he's set on delivering a performance that could leave everyone speechless on December 19th against Anthony Joshua. Paul explained that his mission goes beyond the fight. He wants to inspire a new generation and silence anyone who doubts his skills. Looking ahead to Miami, he playfully noted his love for the heat and the arena, a nod to the energy of his first fight with Gib. Now he vows to bring that same intensity back, going so far as to boldly claim he could knock Anthony Joshua out in the very first round.
Dude, never been better. This is what I dreamed of. This is what I manifested into reality. I'm here to shock the world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gib. I'm bringing that same energy here. First round KO.
And to everyone's surprise, Jake Paul has revealed what he believes is his secret weapon to beat Anthony Joshua: speed. He shared that during their first meeting back in 2022 in Dubai, he sparred alongside Joshua and jokingly claimed he had already beaten him at laser tag. Paul explained that this experience gave him confidence in his quick reflexes and flickering speed, which he plans to use to overwhelm Joshua in the ring. According to him, he will combine head and body shots simultaneously, using his agility to control the fight and land decisive blows.
Man, speed. You know, I beat him in laser tag when we first met in Dubai. He didn't see me coming. I was popping around the corners, shooting him non-stop, eliminated him multiple times, and that's because I'm tricky. I'm sneaky and I'm fast.
Headshot, or are you going to the body?
Both, baby. It's going to be a long night for him.
Now, the analysis keeps coming in, and boxing legend Teddy Atlas has weighed in on Jake Paul's chances against Anthony Joshua. Atlas believes that Jake has the ability to pull off the upset, noting that so far, Paul hasn't shown any major mistakes in the ring. Every time he steps into a fight, he manages to shock the world. Atlas also highlighted that Jake's self-belief is worth noticing, and he asserted that Paul has a real chance to beat Joshua. According to Atlas, Jake is continuously improving his game plan, growing stronger with each fight, and that growth could make all the difference in this upcoming showdown.
Jake hasn't made too many mistakes so far, so it got my attention. It got Teddy's attention. He's been growing. He's been growing in the ring. He's been growing outside the ring. He's been growing in confidence. I think that in the Canelo situation, that didn't happen. He was ready to do that. I think if anything else, if nothing else, he's showing you that he truly is believing in himself. And that, you know, he's been a work in progress. He still is.
Teddy Atlas also pointed out that many people have immense faith in Anthony Joshua, given that he's a two-time world champion, and most expect him to easily knock out Jake Paul. Atlas understands this perception, but he emphasized that one factor favors Jake Paul and could raise alarms for Joshua: his inactivity. According to Atlas, Joshua has been destroyed in past fights and has spent several years out of action, which could give Paul a real opportunity. This, Atlas believes, is where Jake Paul could truly have a chance for victory against the heavyweight champion.
I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. The former heavyweight champ is supposed to go and win by knockout. I understand all that, what people are thinking. But I'll tell you one thing. with all that, Joshua has been inactive. Joshua was destroyed in his last fight. I know it was against a fighter, a top fighter, not against a guy that's been fighting a couple years and has had very little background. I understand all. Teddy understands that. I just break it down, all of it.
Favoring Jake Paul, Teddy Atlas asserted that the common belief that Paul would make a mistake against Joshua is nonsense. He strongly expressed his support for Jake, emphasizing that you cannot simply count him out. To back up his point, Atlas referenced the Mike Tyson fight, noting that Tyson was much older and heavier than Joshua, and everyone expected the veteran to dominate, yet Jake Paul's performance shocked the world and proved his ability to overcome the odds. According to Atlas, whether or not there was an agreement, what Jake showed in that fight demonstrates why he still has a legitimate chance to beat Joshua.
I don't know that he would make that huge a mistake, which it seems like he did. But I am not counting him out. I'm not, because everything I laid out there, because I look at everything. And like I said, with the Tyson thing, Tyson was 30 years old or 40 years old. I don't know what the hell he was, but he was much older. It was, it was a circus, but people still thought Tyson would win. And then the way it looked, who knows if there was a agreement? I don't know. I don't know what it was.
At the same time, following his high-profile fight with Anthony Joshua, many are expressing concern that Jake Paul's life could be in danger. Stepping into the ring with a seasoned, powerful heavyweight like Joshua brings not only physical risks, but also intense public scrutiny and backlash. Analysts note that the pressure, combined with Joshua's punching power and professional experience, makes every moment in the fight potentially dangerous for Paul. While Jake has shown resilience and confidence in the past, this matchup is arguably the riskiest of his career, and fans are keeping a close eye on his safety both inside and outside the ring.
Jake is fine, AJ.
Oh my God. Yes.
And you know what? I'm going to give him props. Fair play, Jake. That is a big fight. I mean, AJ should knock him out.
It is a weird one. Like, am I just being stupid? Like, is he not just going to wig him?
AJ by soap being dropped in prison stuff. AJ by brutal Bonnie Blue scene. AJ by just something vile.
Him even stepping up to fight AJ.
AJ is two-time heavyweight world champion.
On the other hand, there are many who are rooting for Jake Paul, seeing him as a symbol of the new generation shaking up the boxing world. Recently, Moses Atama also weighed in, stating that Jake Paul deserves credit for stepping up to face a legend like Anthony Joshua. While Atama acknowledged that Jake is a decent boxer, he admitted that Paul is not quite at Joshua's caliber. Still, he wished Jake the best of luck, recognizing the courage it takes to take on such a high-stakes fight.
Do you know what? You got to take your hat off to Jake Paul. He's done amazing. He's done very well. And even me, I don't think he's a bad boxer. You know, I actually think he's a decent boxer, but they're not on the caliber of obviously Anthony Joshua. But you know, like, good luck to him. Good luck to him, because I'm not hating on any man that's trying to better himself. And Jake Paul's one of them guys.
Former UFC star Tyron Woodley weighed in on Jake Paul's chances against Anthony Joshua, asserting that everyone stepping into the ring has a chance, and Paul is no exception. Woodley reviewed Joshua's previous fight with Francis Ngannou, noting that while Ngannou was extremely powerful, he was slower, which worked against him. In contrast, Woodley emphasized that Jake Paul is built differently. He's faster, more agile, and unpredictable. According to Woodley, Paul's speed and movement could give him a real opening against Joshua, making this matchup far from a guaranteed outcome.
You know what I mean? We've seen crazier things happen. Francis Ngannou is a terrible comparison to this happened to Francis. He's not even built the same as Jake. I would say Jake's a little bit faster than him. He has more power, but he's slower in distributing that power. And I feel like Anthony probably took him a little bit more serious, just because he's actually a bigger heavyweight with power, and I felt like he did everything to make sure Francis didn't even get a chance to use it.
Another fighter, Joe Cordina, has issued a warning to Jake Paul, noting that while Paul is certainly money hungry, he has also shown that he is serious about his craft. However, Cordina stressed that the next opponent Paul has chosen, Anthony Joshua, is known to this day as one of the most destructive punchers in the heavyweight division. According to Cordina, this fight is a completely different challenge, and while Paul has proven himself in previous bouts, facing a fighter of Joshua's caliber demands utmost respect and preparation.
Do you know what? Listen, he's definitely money hungry, isn't he? Because I'll be honest, people say he's not a fighter, but over the year, like the last couple of years, he's shown that he's serious about it and wants to be a fighter. But at the same time, he's fighting one of probably the most, especially around today, the most destructive punchers in heavyweight boxing. But at the same time, like I said, I'm happy for Anthony Joshua. He's making a load of money. So is Jake Paul. And like someone said to me, yeah, but why would you take that fight? I said, you know, if you had $500,000 in the bank, you're comfortable, you're nice.
Joe Cordina remains among those who believe Joshua will dominate the fight from the very first round. He acknowledged that Jake Paul is good at slipping and dodging and could make some moves in the ring, but in his view, Joshua has the power and skill to take control quickly. Cordina also predicted that this fight won't last more than 3 rounds, asserting that Joshua has all the tools and potential to secure a knockout as early as possible, making it a high-stakes challenge for Paul.
It's like it is to AJ. This is going to be easy for him. Now, he still can't go out there and thinking nothing's going to come back, because a dig will come back, and clearly he can dig a little bit, but I just don't think it lasts over more than 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's a lot of speculation sort of on how Anthony Joshua will approach this, or sort of determine how long it lasts. Like, will he carry Jake for a few rounds? Will he go over and blow him out in a minute? You've known AJ for a long time. What do you think? How do you think he'll approach this?
I think he'll just go out there and try and wipe the flow of him from the first bell. And to be honest, I hope he do.
I think that's what most people think.
I hope he do.
Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua has also issued a warning to Jake Paul, making it clear that he is intent on going for the knockout. Joshua stated that if he doesn't score a knockout, he won't consider the fight a true victory in his own mind. Unlike taking the bout to a decision, Joshua is planning to finish the fight decisively, aiming to demonstrate his power and dominance in the ring from start to finish. This mindset sets the stage for a high-intensity clash where both fighters are looking for a definitive outcome.
Win or lose, if you don't knock him out, do you think that's a loss for you? Do you think if you don't knock him out, that's considered a loss?
Are you asking for me, or are you asking for you?
Well, both, but in your opinion, if you go 8 rounds and win a decision against a guy who's only had 13 pro fights...
No, it's not that. That's what I'm saying. That's for you. Are you asking for me, or are you asking from your perspective? Yours.
I mean, from your perspective.
From mine?
Yeah, is it a win for you if you just beat him, or do you need to knock him out?
I need to knock him out.
I like that.
Why did you stop fighting?
What?
Why did you stop fighting?
I got 3 kids.
Yeah, focus, priorities.
I got 46 pro fights, 170 amateur fights.
I might get you in for some sparring.
I wanted to start a podcast because I love doing this. What's that?
I might get you in for some sparring for Jake.
Now everyone is starting to notice just how far Jake Paul has come, and despite his usual braggadocio, fans and analysts are picking up on small, subtle details. One moment that caught attention came during the face-off when both fighters turned to the audience. Observers noticed the way Jake kept looking at Anthony Joshua, and how Joshua responded with a raised eyebrow. Suddenly, Jake nodded down, and many found it amusing and humanizing, showing that beneath the bravado, he's still very much a kid stepping into the spotlight of a massive fight.
He's gonna get battered. He's gonna get absolutely preaching to the choir, bro. Annihilated. Yeah, take it to just as they turn to the side. That's it, just there, and watch Jake. He looks at him, keeps looking, and then Joshua looks back. Yeah. Jeez. Great.
I just, you know, it's incredible, really.
And there you have it. The stage is set, the stakes are sky high, and the world is watching. Jake Paul's speed, skill, and fearless attitude are meeting Anthony Joshua's power, experience, and knockout potential in what could be the fight of the year. Experts are split, fans are buzzing, and even the smallest details, like their face-off nods, show just how intense this rivalry has become. Who will shock the world? Will Jake Paul prove the doubters wrong, or will Anthony Joshua assert his dominance in the ring? Drop your predictions in the comments below, hit that like button if you're hyped, and don't forget to subscribe for every explosive update on this epic showdown.